It's like a factory assembly line, but for plants. Check this out. This is how we plant all of the hundreds of thousands of plants that we grow here at Smith's Garden Town. It all starts right here in this room, and we've got a really cool process that helps us to speed things up. When we have a full crew working back here on this line, they can plant anywhere from 10 to 15,000 plants per day, all planted by hand. Now everything starts over here on the other side of the room. This is where we receive the plugs, which are what we start with to grow our plants. Now when I say plugs, I don't mean like an electrical plug. These are actually plugs. So they are tiny little seedlings that come in these trays. So these are 288 count trays. So there's 288 of these plugs inside this tray. They get shipped to us from specialty young plant nurseries, and they ship them to us in FedEx boxes and on pallets, and they all get received right here. Now the planting process also starts over here on this big bench because the trays and the pots are shipped separately. So the first job is for someone to actually stack all of these pots into the carrier trays, so that way they can then go into our flat filling machine, which I'll show you right now. Now this here is the flat filling machine. They have a machine for everything. We affectionately call it the dirt machine because the dirt, the soil that we use goes in here, but it's gonna actually automatically fill up all of those trays and pots when we feed those trays through the machine. Now, while we're on the subject of dirt, we actually have to go into the next room to talk about our potting soil. Now the soil that we use primarily comes out of Canada because that's where they harvest the Canadian peat moss, which is the basis for most of our soils. And we use different mixes depending on what we are growing and what we're planting at that time. When they do mix those soils up for us, they will bag them into these big jumbo bags so they can hold anywhere from 50 to 75 cubic feet of soil per bag depending on which mix we're using. Okay, once we get the soil here, how do we get it into our dirt machine? So it's gonna go here. These bags have big loops on top. We've actually got a hoist up in the ceiling that we will then bring down, drop it down, pick it up by the loops, where it will then move into this giant hopper right here. So you can see we've already got a bag in the hopper that's been cut open. We've got soil down here that is ready to be moved up into our dirt machine. Now inside of that big hopper, we've got a conveyor belt that's gonna be feeding our potting soil into this hopper, which is a smaller hopper, which feeds the dirt machine. Now once our trays are full of soil and leveled off, that's when they move to the planting line, which is where we started off this video. So you will see them working here, and they'll be taking these plugs and putting them into these pots, which then move into our watering tunnel behind me. And that watering tunnel is gonna be that first drink that they get once they're planted and tagged, and before they get to move out into our different greenhouses where they're going to be grown. So there you have it. Next time you purchase a beautiful flower from a garden center, think about those hardworking people that brought that plant to life.